see what happens on here.
Tell me when I can go.
It could just be casual conversation in the beginning.
That's true too.
We live. Here, Pastor Lydia.
Huh?
I'm gonna no, that's not what I want to do.
I'm looking at my phone waiting to see it.
It's okay.
There it is. I got it.
You got it.
We're live. There in the gray wall.
Only y'all care about that, I promise.
And she would be the one to put it.
Only y'all care about that. Somebody be like, you know what? Nice message, but that gray wall.
Oh, my bad. I'm like, where's that coming from? Okay, so I'm gonna love it first. Okay, now I'm gonna share it. Okay. Share.
All right, so welcome to Kingdom Conversations. This is
Episode 1.
Episode 1. Episode 1 for sure. Pastor Ben, Pastor Nessie, Pastor Lydia. We are all proud members and leadership of Freedom City Church. So one of the things that we want to let you know with this being episode 1 is we're still fooling around with gadgets. Mm-hmm. And so we welcome you to that part of the journey with us. Very organic time, very authentic time.
Yeah.
However, as we are proceeding, we do have a very specific topic that we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to get into that topic. It is called the redefinition of leadership. But before we talk about that, I really want to give us space and time to introduce ourselves. Anything else you want to add past me giving your name and your title? So we'll start with Pastor Nessie.
I'm Nessie, as he said, youth pastor Nessie. I don't know, I'm just excited to see how the Lord, works this out for us.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think people enjoy in this culture today, people enjoy podcasts and conversations, probably more than anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it'll be exciting to be able to engage one another and engage other people in just what we got going on at Freedom City Church.
That's real.
A lot of great stuff happening there.
Absolutely.
But then also just engaging people in real conversations about faith walks and life in general.
100%. And Pastor Lydia.
I am Pastor Lydia, Grace Irvs Boyle, as some would call me. Oh. And this is exciting. This is exciting. And I'm excited about the topic today.
It's going to be very good. Yeah. It's going to be excellent. Thank you guys for that. So before we get into that topic, let me ask you guys just some kind of different questions as we kind of peruse through all this. And so my first question is going to be, we're all part of Freedom City Church. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, I'm assuming this, we all love our church, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what drew you to the church initially, and how has that changed, if it changed? And if we're going to be real, for the good or for the bad. So I'll start with Pastor Lydia.
It literally was, not to be too deep, but it literally was a vision. Like I had a vision of this tall man standing in the gymnasium at the location where we have service. And I knew about Freedom City, but my husband and I visited the Sunday following that vision. And then been there ever since. But it was really, I was like, gosh, the worship is so authentic. There was like none of that, forgive me, but none of that, extra, I'm trying, churchy stuff. Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with churchy, but like just all the things that,
we have a bleep button if you want to.
We do. I just can't reach it. I would just go
say some other
bleep. And but the worship was authentic, and it was just like my husband, the deacon, mm-hmm. saying after service, like, it's like he knew everything. It's like he, meaning you, spoke to everything, and like we immediately got our answer. Like, we're supposed to be here. And so we've been here ever since.
And since you've been here, how long has it been?
Now 2 years and 2 months.
That's pretty crazy.
It's crazy.
And so that same pull, excitement, or drive, has that increased, dwindled, stayed the same? Like, how would you explain year 2 and 2 months?
It's increased. It could fall into a same sometimes, and then it increases because you push me, and then and then but it has increased. I have really been stretched.
Awesome.
These last 48 hours with that spreadsheet.
That is funny.
That's hilarious.
Pastor Nessie, what about your experience?
Well, the Lord literally led me to Freedom City Church. I was at my home church. It was home for, 18 years, 19 years, something like that. And me and Pastor Lydia have been friends for over 10 years?
Man, yeah.
Yeah, over 10 years. But you know how real friendships go. There'll be a season where y'all not talking all the time every day. Mm-hmm. So we had been in one of those kind of seasons since it was like after you had Chris. Everybody just doing life. And whenever we would talk, whenever we would see each other, everything would be fine. And for some reason, I don't know why we were going to dinner, but she was like, well, my service is after yours, so you could just come if it's okay, so Chris can take the boys home and I can ride with you. I was like, yeah, I'll just come to your service after mine. So I had been hearing the Lord tell me that I needed to leave where I was probably at least earlier in the year. So let's say if I came to visit in October, I heard the Lord maybe in like January. But because I was home and I was comfortable, there was no, nothing bad or tumultuous happening. I was at home. It's almost kind of like a teenager having to leave the nest. It's like, but my mama paying the bill. She cook. I ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like one of them situations. Just like, and where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Mm-hmm. So I just sat on it. But then when I came to go to dinner, and I've known you, I don't even know for how long. So I knew you had your own church.
Ever.
It just never dawned on me to ever go visit because I was where I was at. So I came. And I was like, oh, okay, Lord. And I really felt the pull to join Freedom City that day. Wow. But I wasn't sure, and I was scared, and I wasn't used to listening to the Lord on that level. So I went back to my church, kept doing what I was doing.
That's real, though.
But Pastor Lydia had left a cup in my car. So I was like, let me take her this cup to her church. Not like she my friend. I ain't got access to her house or nothing. Right. Let me take her cup to her church.
You take to the church.
Take it to the church.
Funny.
So I went back. And then I told my pastor dad, who's the pastor of the church that I left, I was like, it was literally like the Lord was like screaming at me, like yelling at me. So I knew the second time for sure. I was like, I got to leave. So came up with the timeline for how long I would be at the old church to leave to join Freedom City. So I joined Freedom City, January of last year. Mm-hmm. So it's been a year and 3 months.
Yeah.
And so I love that story. And so now, how would you compare the pull to the pull now, or the drive, or your experience?
Very, very similar to Pastor Lydia. It's like, so when I joined Freedom City, I didn't know what or why I was joining or why I was supposed to. I just knew I was supposed to join and leave where I was. I did know that there was going to be some growing, because I remember the Lord like showing me that and me having that conversation with my pastor dad, and I was explaining to him, I was like, it's kind of like you leave high school, you go to college. Like, I feel like, I'm not leaving here because it's nothing good happening here. Mm-hmm. I've just outgrown here. It's time for me to grow on another level somewhere else. So I knew there was going to be some growing, but we be knowing stuff, but the Lord be knowing more. So I knew I was going to grow, but I had no idea the level, like Pastor Lydia said, the level of stretching that I would experience in growing, which is funny because y'all were just talking about y'all kids growing out y'all clothes and how much you don't like it. But that's how we be feeling internally. It's like, ugh,
That's good.
I don't like this. Like, I know I got to grow. I know growing is good. It means I'm healthy if I'm growing. Because if you're not growing, then, you know what I'm saying, either you're growing or you're dying.
We're going to get into something.
And there's a cost. Just like buying the clothes.
Exactly.
It's expensive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's stretching.
So it's like that stretching, but it's always worth it, right?
Always.
So like you get the new clothes and you're like, oh, but I look fresh.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you get used to it until you grow again.
My
And
God.
then the process starts all over again.
You're talking some real stuff.
So yeah, it's been a stretch. I had no idea. I've never in my life ever heard in any way, shape, form, or fashion that I would be in a pastoral position, any kind of way. I always knew I was called to teach, never pastor. So that was kind of mind-blowing for me.
Yeah, I would say that is shared among many that are called to pastor. That for many, maybe not all, but for many, they are pulled out of what they were doing or what they wanted to do into something else. And so if you're just tuning in, this is Kingdom Conversations. And let me say something about Kingdom Conversations real quick. This is an addition. This is like a leg of Freedom City Church where we have space to talk about things and get into detail behind the scenes, kind of an authentic, organic way for us to hear the gospel, hear testimony, hear leadership. And so for all of you that are tuning in, I want you to know that you'll be seeing many more of our leaders. And so today it's Pastor Lydia, Pastor Nessie, but any one of our leaders at any point in time, as we continue this forward, and we want you all to engage, we want you all to comment, we want you all to clip and share and different things like that, anything that stands out to you. But this is specifically for those that are online to not only experience the gospel, but also get to know us as leaders, but then also our perspective on certain things. We can be talking about motherhood, fatherhood. We could talk whatever it is. So Kingdom Conversation gives space to that. And so, again, if you're just tuning in, welcome. I want to speak to kind of that same question I posed to you all. So in starting the ministry for myself and Lady V, 4 years in November, it'll be 4 years. And so hearing from the Lord, it was very, it was awkward. It was scary. It was uncomfortable, all of the above. And then at the time, which we were coming kind of freshly off COVID, everything was all wisdom from people that I considered resources were saying it might be the wrong time. And so we did it anyway because I felt like the Lord said to do it and do it right now. And that's an important point to understand, that the timing of the Lord will go against wisdom. Because it's not to say what they told me wasn't wisdom.
Yeah.
It's just that what God said supersedes. And so we started, and the moment we said yes, to the point where we can't turn back, from that point till now, we've seen the hand of God consistently, faithfully, throughout everything that we've had to encounter. We've seen the favor of the Lord consistently in that manner. So today, from then, I feel the exact same way almost, because every week is like, thank you, Lord, to see people's lives change, to see the hand of God. It's been great. So that's my little piece of that. But when it comes to because you talked about something, you said something, Pastor Nessie, about things feeling uncomfortable and stretching and things like that. And so when it comes to the redefinition of leadership, when I came up with this topic, what I was really wanting to focus on was, I'm talking to two great leaders, by the way, in my church. So faithful, so consistent. We have something called core values. Do y'all know the 6 core values? Real quick, I'm just playing.
I was about to go to the bathroom.
But look, the
Connection,
camera shows you going
communication.
down this way. And then zooms in on me. But two, man, just the most selfless, intelligent, smart, talented, gifted leaders, and I know that for them that may be uncomfortable, but it's the truth. It's a reality, and it's such a blessing. Part of what comes natural to them was God's promise to me that if you say yes, I'll have what you need. Mm-hmm. And so I'm grateful. But that's different. My reality is different from what goes on in your mind. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so the redefinition of leadership from different aspects is basically, how has leadership been defined or redefined since you became pastor? You being pastor, how is that different from you experiencing other pastors? Mm. That's the redefinition. Are you an embodiment of the redefining of, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's, it's pretty much the same. But I want to hear from you all, not just with the pastoral positions that you all are in, but in other positions. But let's just start with pastoral positions. How has that position been redefined since you've become pastor, if it has at all?
You got to go first because I got to pull up a scripture.
I think for both of us, because we're a lot alike, okay. We're rule followers. Tell us what to do. Tell us what you want.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. Mm-hmm. So when you're in a pastoral position and you tell us this all the time, you the pastor, you the leader, you're creating this culture.
Yep.
So I think from that aspect is like, the shift of being obedient to a leader that's over us who is specifically saying this is what I want mm-hmm. and this is how I want it to a pastor and a leader who is saying God put you in this position. I'm giving you the freedom to do whatever he tell you to do. Mm-hmm. So what does that look like? I don't know. You tell me.
Wow. And can I just say something to that real quick? So my experience in leadership, secular and sacred, to be honest, is you have to have the right people in the room. And if you have the right people in the room, you don't necessarily have to have the right plan because the right people come with creativity, perspective, and these things. And so it's more, my focus has always been having the right people in the room, because even in giving them autonomy, now it's not a free-for-all,
right?
But even in giving them autonomy, if you trust what God is doing, they are a part of that plan, and we get in the room and we get it done together. So I love that perspective. Pastor Lydia, were you done?
Yes.
Yes, Pastor Lydia.
So the redefinition for me is the redefinition of leadership and pastors in general. So I was going to look for a scripture, but it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to say is what has happened for me, it starts with your leadership and seeing, Lord help. You don't have to abuse. Mm-hmm. You don't have to scream. You don't have to yell. You don't have to manipulate. Mm-hmm. And following what God's word first in every decision. And that's not something I can say that I had experienced personally throughout my whole life. A lot of times we are led by, oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, let's do that because this church is doing that. Or what's trending? Let's do that versus, but what is God saying? And then I've seen you do things like, we're going to get prepared for this. And it's like, God said, wait. And so like watching that has helped me. It's not always just about now being a part of pastoral leadership. It's what is God saying now? Just because you see something or feel something doesn't mean do it now. And just it's been redefined for me as literally acknowledge him in all of your ways and he will direct your path. And that is not just in your personal life, but in your pastoral call, your whatever ministry you're called to, being like led by him only. Did I answer the question?
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect. Have you found, both of you, that you try to pull from past experiences when being equipped as a pastoral leader, or is it all fresh? Has the pastoral definition been wiped completely clean? and you are in real time filling that in, or do you pull from old experiences?
I think it's a combination of of both, because there's, it's kind of like take the meat, leave the bones. It's like, this is essential to what I need to be a leader in any capacity. So I hold on to that. But also, this is what it looks like to be a leader at Freedom City Church. So I can't do that, because that is not Freedom City Church.
I like that. What about you, Pastor Lydia?
It's both. And the both is what to do and what not to do. How to lead and how not to lead. I'm pulling from those experiences of, don't do that, because you saw how that goes. You know? And you know what? When Bishop did that, I'm going to always, keep that impaired with what I'm learning now. But don't do that you saw there. You know what I mean? Because then you'll kill the people.
Wow.
Sorry.
I mean, you went straight for it. Tell me about a specific situation or a specific time where you were able to glean from someone and you say, today, I'm still using that because that's still viable in this time. Can you all give me that?
Absolutely.
Come on, give it to me.
So my spiritual / surrogate mother, Vanessa P. Harsley, she literally raised me probably from the age of 18 up until she passed away to be a young woman of God, a young mother of God, a wife, spiritually. In a lot of ways, naturally as well. Now, my mama in my life, my mama shared me with her very graciously, and she'll say it all the time. So it's not like my mom wasn't sufficient or efficient in any kind of way, or she lacked anything. It's just that God gave me the ability to have multiple parents, and she was one of them. And she really, I don't even know how to describe, like, I wish everybody could have had a her in their life. Like, it's hard to even put into words who she was, because she was just that big. Anybody who knows her knew she was like a spiritual giant. Now, she wasn't perfect, and what we tend to do is we romanticize people when they're no longer here. So we completely ignore, something problematic or flaws or anything, or the human side of them. So clearly she wasn't perfect. She was still human. She was extremely human. But she was so in tune to what God wanted, because she had such a strong relationship with him, because she trained us to do that as well. It's like, you can't just go off of what Sister Harsley is saying. What is God saying to you? And we used to be in youth ministry, and she taught us as if we were adults. We were running conferences, planning everything by ourselves as teenagers. In one meeting, we were trying to decide if we were going to do a conference or if we were going to do a retreat where we would go somewhere. And it's like 20 of us in the room. Nobody over the age of 21. Probably from age 13 to 21.
Wow.
So we all sitting at the table and we all kind of debating, and she shut it all down. She said, "Stop. What does God want?" And we sat there in silence until the Lord spoke, and she went one by one. Now, I'm sure at some point somebody was just like, well, everybody else saying this, I'm going to say what they say. But one by one, she was like, what is God saying? And we all said what we thought we heard the Lord say, and that's the decision that we did. But that's just one example of how she spiritually raised us and equipped us to, or she just randomly call and be like, how's your walk? When's the last time you prayed?
Love it.
When's the last time you fast? So, like, just having somebody to pour into you in that way. She was a worshiper. She was a prayer. She was in a corporate world, and she brought the corporate skills and training into the church to teach people how to operate efficiently in the house of the Lord. It was, I can't even, and her husband, who is my bonus dad, he's still here. Both of them together, just amazing people, just poured into me. To this day, he still does, but, just it's amazing to have people like them in my life.
And you using what you've seen, how are you using it as youth pastor or as worship leader, or what are you using?
So I'm growing. I'm growing in every area, but I'm specifically growing in the worship leader part because she was a worship leader and youth leader. She didn't hold the title as youth pastor, but if in all of its, operations, she would have been a youth pastor. But just how to connect with young people, how to honor young people, because I think a lot of times adults just treat them like,
That's so good. That's so good.
like these
old kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You ain't going through nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. Or, you know what I'm saying? And knowing when to chastise and when to correct and how to do it and how to show love and how to show them that they are valued in the kingdom of God and that they don't have to wait until they're older, and just instilling spiritual and moral values in them in a way that makes sense to them, because every generation has their own way of doing church or walking their faith walk. And it's just a cultural thing. As we grow, from generation to generation, we do things certain ways. So seeing them and what their generation is like and not trying to force them into a box of what we think it should be like. I don't know, it's just a lot. It's almost too much to even talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot.
And Pastor Nessie.
Lydia.
Pastor Lydia.
Like, yeah, keep talking.
It was so good.
What was the question?
No, but just to present the question fresh, like, what have you seen from someone you may admire, or maybe just someone you didn't even know, but something that you've been able to take from your past experience, maybe your church, maybe you, to anything, that to this day, as a pastor, you use because it was so effective with you or around you?
The most effective thing, it would have to be this season. And it would have to be how you approach dealing with difficult situations. Because what I'm used to throughout my whole life is, you did what? Now why you do that? From a leader, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't do that. Or, what, were you crazy? Like, or just like, like, what? What's this systemic? You know better than that. And the first time you will, what is it? Encourage or praise. It was the template of, before you have a difficult conversation where you have to tell someone that, like, yeah, you kind of missed the mark, is to praise them first. And I had never heard of that before. And so that's something that, like, I currently am still working with, but have incorporated, because to me, it's always been like, well, why you do that? That's dumb. Like, versus, man, I really appreciate, man, you're really doing a good job, and I appreciate you for pushing, and you're balancing a whole lot, and man, I commend you on that. Let's take a look at this, and let's try to do something like this, versus, you did that wrong, so don't do that again. That makes sense. And instead of doing that, do this. I'm still trying to get that in me, but I never saw that leadership style until Freedom City. So
what did it do for you when you were experiencing that? And then what have you seen it do for others when you're using that?
Experiencing the first model of just telling it like it is, telling the person that, like, you screwed up, so fix it. You see how people deflate, or like, man, like I've experienced the feeling, honestly, using words like this, I would say, man, I'm so stupid. Like, you feel so, man, I must be just super slow. Right. Like, how I missed that? And I still have that struggle. It's like a trauma response that I'll have. Like, you may say, oh, yeah, well, next time try this. And I'll be like, I messed up. But that's a trauma response to all the years of, like, you know better than to do that. Like, why'd you do that? Or like, you slow or something? And so my reaction or my response is, I still kind of feel that. And so now doing it, though, your leadership style and praising people and doing that more than, now let's spend 30 minutes on correcting you and spend 2 minutes. It's more so, I see people feel built up and not leaving a Zoom or a phone call like, okay, well, yeah. So I've seen the positive side of it is people don't walk away feeling defeated.
Wow. Yeah. Now that blesses me to hear that, because that's what you want people to feel like. You want them to feel like they have value, and if there is any kind of correction or anything, that it's being added to what they already do well, not something that you have nothing good going for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing.
And so I appreciate you saying that. Kingdom Conversations, y'all. Again, tuning in, we are talking about the redefinition of leadership. Pastor Nessie, Pastor Lydia, Pastor Benjamin, and I want to say this where it relates to the redefining of leadership for me. Kind of similar to what we've heard. For me, the redefinition of leadership means awareness and acceptance, because I wanted it to be okay to be aware of my weaknesses, right? I want it to be okay for me, and let me be honest with you all, not just pastorally, but in marriage, I'm aware of my weaknesses. And the thing about being aware of your weaknesses is that if you're aware, then you can build around them. If you're not aware, then obviously you couldn't, but I'm aware and I accept, right? And my experience with pastors in the past has been, everything in between, right? All kind of stuff, but mainly in the generation that I grew up in was, pastor knew every scripture. He knew all the legal advice. He knew what paint needed to be on the walls. He knew what job you should accept. And pastor knew everything.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's just not true. And I didn't want to have to try to embody something like that for myself, which is a lot of pressure, but then also for people who may follow something that I'm saying that has no merit or weight. And so my love for the people, but then also God's love for me, made it okay for me to be aware, like, this is a weak area, but it doesn't mean you're weak. This is a not so strong area, but it doesn't diminish that I called you here. Right? And so that awareness and then that acceptance has brought about pieces that you see today, other leaders that you'll see at our church that come alongside, very strong in these areas. And it's a blessing. And the reason why that's so important too is in terms of pastoral leadership is if you haven't accepted that this may be a weak area in your life and you see it in somebody else, you'll attack them.
Yep.
You'll attack them, or you'll assassinate, or you'll suffocate. Somehow you'll stand against someone that God has sent to be a blessing to the ministry has become an opponent of yours. And so for me, the redefinition of pastoral leadership has been awareness and acceptance. When I see not just these two, but we got preachers at Freedom City Church. I mean, people that go. This very last time, you remember when Nessie was on the microphone, she started just burning the walls down.
The one who said, "What you know that yelling?" And she started yelling.
I couldn't believe. We was like, "Who is?" It was incredible. Anyway, we got preachers at our church, and if I'm not aware, or if I don't accept not just weaknesses, but that I'm not the only grace in the church, then we couldn't allow that, right? Pastor Lydia preaches a message, and this happens every time. Everybody loves it, and everybody gets empowered by it. Now it's my job to either tear it down or try to be better, or both, as opposed to just appreciate.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That is liberating for me. Being able to be aware and accept has been liberating for me. Have you all been able to, since you've been in leadership at FCC specifically, have you been able to come to a realization within yourself and just say, you know what, I'm aware of this now, I accept this, and it's not a big deal like I thought it would have been maybe in the past. Oh,
The awareness is big.
okay.
The acceptance is growing.
The awareness is
Because the acceptance is harder, because I think a lot of times we are already aware. There are a lot of things that we're already aware of, but I'm aware of it. Y'all ain't aware of it until you put me up front. Wait a minute. So now everybody got to be aware of this?
Ooh, wait.
Hold on. Wait a minute now. So I think the acceptance part is because we've already accepted it. I know I'm weak in this area. I've accepted that. I'm struggling with you accepting it because I don't think you will. Because if I was me, I wouldn't. So I think that's what we struggle with.
That's good, though. Wow. What about you?
So this week has been one of those weeks where this spreadsheet this week.
Keep saying spreadsheet.
I know. They don't know.
They don't know what that
They finna
spreadsheet
know.
means.
But the awareness was, well, wait a minute. Like it's like this I used to be very well at this. And then let's say that's 10 years ago. And then I'm very good at that. But then why is it that right now those, like, I became very aware this week that you know that you should have just done this a long time ago, or you should have, why are you just, and like I had to accept, like, your thoughts get trapped in your mind and don't make it out into paper. So you're going to have to fix that because other people will benefit if you would get those things out of your head and actually put it on a spreadsheet. You know, and it would help everyone be more efficient. That's a part of your, you know, whatever you facilitate. That probably doesn't make sense, but
No, it makes
that
sense.
is I had to, like, within the last 48 hours be like, why didn't I just, I text her and sent her a picture of a spreadsheet and was just like, I already had this. Why didn't I don't understand. So I'm aware, and it is hard to accept, like, because I did feel slightly like, that's so stupid. Like, but now it's just like, you're not stupid. You just need to realign.
There you go.
And I know why I think I did it, but that's another story. You want to hear it?
Please.
I think, because like when we're talking about the past versus the present,
Okay.
I told my husband this. I think because your leadership style is such that it makes someone like me could be kind of lazy. Because you don't have this high expectation where if it doesn't get done, you're going to put the hammer down.
The grace caused you to be comfortable.
The grace can cause you to be comfortable because you say, oh yeah, just do it. Okay.
You know, Pat, I need to write notes down. Change.
Whereas,
Saying, no, go ahead.
yeah, but that's just kind of like, I think in that transition, because it's only been 2 years or 2 months. So if I'm coming from a season of harsh, hard, works driven, like performance, everything is based on, you know, how productive you are. And if you're not as productive, if you didn't do exactly what, you know, you're supposed to do, then there's all this. So you're always just going and trying and working and working. And then you come over to Freedom City and there's some freedom. And then you don't have to work as hard. And you can end up falling back if you're not careful and not prayerful and acknowledging the Lord in all your ways.
I love what you're saying.
Then you will kind of get a little lazy because it's just kind of this free. It's a free environment. It absolutely is Freedom City is a very free environment. And we don't go through set lists. So like there's this kind of like okay, we might not do it anyway, so I don't even have to try. The end.
I like that. No, I see what you're saying. And I like what you're saying because that's a very real perspective. I'm going to say this, like it's how things are defined. This is why we're talking about the redefinition. One of the things you said, which let me clarify. You said that I don't have a high expectation. I do.
You do.
But how that's demonstrated
Yes.
is different apparently.
Yes.
It's different. Yeah. You know, there's a scripture that says, because the judgment of God isn't executed speedily, it is fully set in man's heart to do evil. And what that means is because when you do wrong, God doesn't slap your hand. Sorry about that. No. God doesn't slap your hand. Then you feel more kind of okay with doing it again and again and again and again. Meaning if there was an immediate judgment, you wouldn't do it as much. But here's the thing about it. Your actions would be different, not your heart.
Man.
Right? And even in marriage, right? And I'm talking about this because it closely aligns when you're talking about partnering with a people or a person or anything. But one of the things that I always say to married couples or couples that want to get married is that the objective is not to make someone, but it's to make someone want to. Mm-hmm. Right? There's a difference in making me cook or making me want to cook for you. Making me work. And so what I've been giving y'all from the Lord in terms of experientially has been my motivation because of who God has been me wanting to do this for him, not being pressured by consequence or punishment.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, no, I love that. And I often see when people are coming in our church, how they're trying to acclimate to what you're talking about. Like, it is free. I remember one time, just being honest, it was one time, you know the story, Pastor Lydia. The guy came in, we worship, y'all, we be going, you know. And especially with prophetic churches, there's this, you know, it's this idea that anything goes, which is not the case with us, right? As we sing with Oh Boy with the Stick.
Man.
You know that story, Stick?
No.
She wasn't
She wasn't there?
wasn't there yet.
Okay.
I was not there.
So, but I'll let you tell that story, Pastor Lady. But anyway, the idea is in prophetic churches, it's kind of out of order. It's just crazy, this and that. That's another thing that I was very adamant about redefining. But it was a guy that came in our church. We going hard like we always go. And he said, the next day he called me. He said, I felt like I walked into an insane asylum. I didn't know what was going on.
Not an insane asylum.
I was rolling. I was not offended whatsoever. I was rolling because just like David is just like, oh, we can be more undignified than that.
Right.
But there is structure. There are those things, but it's more kingdom aligned than it is. We got to get to the second song, or we got to get to giving. Y'all, sometimes we don't even be giving. Now, that is, look, tap me on my shoulder. Sometimes we don't even, we be so in that, you know, it's not a big deal. Somebody's having an encounter, their lives being changed.
Yeah.
So that's what that is. Do you want to tell that stick story, or I can go on with another question I have?
Well, I was, it was anniversary, and another one of our great brothers were preaching, and had a word, you know, from the Lord for me, and so I went up, and you know, I'm you know, receiving, and then I feel here, I have to do it.
Okay.
And I was like, and there's a gentleman with a big rod and staff, and Pastor Ben just slid on and removed the.
You didn't know him. He wasn't a member of our church.
He was not.
He wasn't authorized
not
by their
a member.
church.
Okay. And so, and I just hear this.
Walked up right behind him.
I think they were tongues of sorts. It's like, what is going on? But then he slid and removed the man.
With a big old hook like on the cartoons. His head is still spinning in there. Because we're big on authorization. You know, it's a lot of front end authorizing going on, you know.
Yeah.
And once you are authorized, then I trust God is dealing with you. And I still navigate and coach, but, you know, it's that type of thing. Here's another question. How has pastoral leadership, or whatever capacity of leadership in the church specifically, how has leadership redefined other areas of your life? How has that redefined being a wife? if so, or a mother? For you, how does that redefine being a mother, or how has that impacted school as a teacher? Like, how has leadership, if at all, redefined those areas?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, because my answer may fail us. It may not be the best.
Oh.
I feel like as a mother, not much has changed necessarily. It is interesting to take this journey with Jacob, though. So, like, I recognize I can't be the youth pastor if I'm not pastoring my own child at home.
That's so good.
So, like,
Don't make me slap this. That's good, though.
so things that maybe I would have been more lax about at home, I'm not as much. So, for instance, we pray every day before. This is the first school year we've ever done it like this. Now, we have done, I don't know if most people who grew up in church usually know, may the Lord watch between me and thee. So we used to do stuff like that, but it was never like an intentional prayer. So every morning we pray before we leave the house. So initially when it first started, because I knew he wasn't used to praying like that for real anymore, I would just do it. And then after a while, one day I was like, you pray. And he was like, I was like, just do it. He's like, I don't even know what to say. So I helped him, like work through it. And then it went from the awkward, she making me pray today, to now he knows what to say and he just prays. To now, if we leave at separate times, before he walks out the door, he'd be like, pray. Like he don't even leave unless we pray.
There you go.
So just to watch, like, and that's because we were trying to do something different. So now it's on something different. No, it's on something else. But either way. But yeah, it's really cool to kind of watch his kind of, or even like when we're in service, he has his phone during praise and worship. That's gonna be the next tackle.
Okay.
But when Pastor
Jacob is how old?
He's 14.
14 years old. We're talking about a wonderful 14-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. But when Pastor Ben starts preaching, he puts his phone away. And he did that on his own. Like, I never had to tell him to do it. But he does it on his own. So it's fun as Pastor Nessie to see my child interested in what the Lord is saying through Pastor Ben. Or it's fun as Pastor Nessie to see my child say, all right, Ma, I'm about to go, pray. Or even like the other day, he prayed for his brother to get a job without me having, like, so just like to add.
He believes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he got a job. Amen. I forgot to tell Jacob, I'm going to tell him. But that's just fun. Because now I get to see his faith grow when I say, remember you prayed the other day? Leon, I got that job.
Wow.
Yeah.
But then also, like, professionally, the Lord is simultaneously pushing me in both areas. So my boss, she's one of my mentors. She's leaving. And I've been with my district this is my 17th school year. And she was there. She was one of the hiring principals or assistant principals. So she's the lead principal now. And this is her last year. She's leaving me. And my other boss, who put me in my teaching position without any credentials, he's also retiring. So my mentors are leaving. Well, my lead principal, I was having a conversation with her. I teach second grade now. And she was like, Kemp, you need to move up to third grade and be the third grade lead, right? And that means moving to a different building. I'm comfortable in this building. I've been in this building forever. I love it. I love my kids. I love the grade level I teach. I know the curriculum. I'm good. I don't even like that building. My friends are here.
Right.
So I was like, And she was like, I'm telling you, you need to leave. And I was like, I'm going to see what the Lord says. You know how we say that when we want to tell people no, we say, I'm going to ask God. Let me ask God.
Pray about it.
And she was like, I already did. I was like, And she was like, when I prayed.
I already did.
She did. She was dead serious. She said, when I prayed to ask God what I was supposed to do, if I was supposed to stay or leave, and he told me I was supposed to leave, I immediately said, okay, God, what about Kemp? Now, this is a principal of over 300-something teachers. And for her to be like, all right, God, you telling me to leave, what about her? And she said, he told me, you need to move up to 3rd grade to be the 3rd grade lead. She was like, she said, how you going to lead if you never lead? And that was the night that you handed me the mic and said, flow, and walked off and never came back.
That was that same night?
It was the same night.
That's
Earlier that day,
powerful.
she said, how you going to lead if you never lead? And then I had to lead. I didn't have a choice. I couldn't have told either one of y'all no. I probably could have told you no, but you probably wouldn't let me say no. Or you probably would have if I would have pressed it, but then it would have been a whole nother situation.
I don't know.
No.
That's Lydia. No.
No.
Probably not.
Either
I had to
way,
give a message within 4 minutes without notice.
I didn't think about that conversation until after the fact. Because in that moment, I wasn't thinking about my conversation with my principal. But that night, the Lord kept saying, keep saying yes, keep saying yes. So I had posted it on Facebook. So now, and she's my Facebook friend too. So now we hadn't set in stone that I was going to 3rd grade. So she was like, what the Lord tell you? He said, keep saying yes.
Man. But look at the fruit of it, though. We got to experience it that night.
I got to experience it. It wasn't like an outer body experience where I was watching myself, but I didn't feel like myself.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because myself is scared. I was scared after it was done. I was like, oh my God, like that happened. And I just let the Lord go. Because I didn't have time
screaming,
to
you
think.
was yelling. You snatched somebody up.
God is good. You need to lift your hands and go.
I don't remember nothing that happened.
You was doing all that. But that's kind of typical as God is developing people. You had a similar experience. So that's powerful. Yeah, but so tell us about your experience, but then, same question.
I thought about it as you were talking, and so specifically, what was it again? My children, my husband. Okay, like how has me being a pastor? How does that translate?
Redefine other areas.
Redefine other
if
areas.
it has at all.
As I was listening, I was just like, yeah, there's areas. Let me tell you something. So I told my husband some time ago, and I've said it on a few occasions. I can't imagine have had these children like 10 years ago and raised them in a different environment. So saying that to say, to have like Christopher who will say, Mommy, Jesus told me ... And I say, okay, what did he say? And how do you know? I wouldn't have known to say those things 10 years ago. I wouldn't have known to, like, oh, okay, my child is prophetic, so I need to walk him. I wouldn't have known that. And then even as a wife, like it's not the, but the, okay, Lord, what are you saying? Don't say anything. How do I word this? How do I phrase this? Even with the kids, like being more aware, even though I yell at them all the time, but I have my moments, right? But then there's the being led, like how to pray for them and being more conscious and aware. I'm more aware now, more spiritually aware and more, I'm spiritually aware, more spiritually aware as being a pastor of Freedom City Church and not just a pastor anywhere. Because our teaching and our training is, I'm going to say, is up here.
Amen.
And it helps us to navigate like our children, our families.
Yeah.
Who would know to say, okay, many will say, okay, Lord, what are you saying? But I think there's a greater awareness and sensitivity, on what the Spirit is saying.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. We're trying to, I wish we had these buttons, y'all, where I can just be bam, bam, bam. Do you hit home? Is it the home button?
I don't remember.
Or is it, we got to find that. Again, you all.
I'm going to find it.
You don't got to find it, Pastor.
Okay, he said we got to find it.
Nessie right
I
here.
was trying to be a pastor.
Nessie
You
right
so
here.
funny.
Kingdom Conversations, you all. I have probably about 2 more questions with our leaders here right before we wrap up. But we got it.
Yeah, we do.
Which is it? This one?
You just hit a button. See. Oh, that's a beep.
Oh.
And we in there.
There it is.
Like chicken hair.
There it is.
Chicken
I
hair.
don't know if I like that, but
You can't say the other one though.
what's the?
The one that it really
I don't
is.
remember.
I'll tell y'all off the.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a church podcast.
So,
Yeah.
Kingdom Conversations, we're talking to the pastors, associate pastor of Freedom City Church STL, senior pastor, and our youth pastor. Again, we have so many other leaders that are coming that will be a part of this conversation in terms of these episodes as they continue on. But I'm having a good time today.
Me too.
This is pretty cool to hear. I got a couple more questions for you all before we wrap up, you guys.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I want to ask you all specifically because it's specific to you, in terms of being a woman pastor. That is something that obviously I can't speak to. I've witnessed. People say this about it, people say that about it. For me, I go with the Word of God, and I go with the fruit of what we see. And so I'm very much blessed and believe in your pastoral leadership. God has affirmed it, no question about it. But how has that experience been for you in terms of being a pastor in your respective place, but also female? And have you seen resistance, experienced resistance, internal or external, where that's concerned specifically?
I have not experienced anything yet.
That's awesome.
If anything, you know how some people make like a little side comment, so like someone called my husband, are you the first man? Like what? Are you the second man? Because like Pastor being the senior pastor, are you a second man? Or like, or like, what are you? Like, what do you call? And he was just like, I don't know, whatever you say. Or,
Chris be cool.
He's so cool.
He don't care.
Like,
so, I love Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Yes,
Why did help me? But why you gotta laugh that hard?
Listen to it's so small.
Oh, you know what that is? When somebody start tripping,
Yeah, that's that beat
That's
you
the
was
beat
looking
that I
for earlier.
Yes.
My bad, Chris. Pastor Nessie
Look,
did it.
it's
There you
number
go.
3.
There you go. Or the hand clap is the first one.
Because
Yes.
the beat was offensive. Shout out to Chris. Oh, man. Go ahead. Who was talking about me? I'm sorry.
Oh man. Wrong person to distract.
Right.
We were talking about Chris being cool. He could be going with it. You
Yeah.
saying he don't be minded.
Female pastor.
Yes.
Female, okay, because it just went out. Yep, gone. So, but other than that, like he had a couple friends like, yep, Marlon Anderson. You would be like, a friend of Chris. Don't no.
I was so like, wait, we're calling names.
Look, I'm down for whatever.
It's all good. State Representative Marlon Anderson.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Reverend Dr. Boyle, and like first husband or whatever, but other than that, and it's like that jovial stuff. But the other weird remark that was asked to Chris, I have not experienced, but I will tell you this because this is not my first pastoral role, right? So in another ministry I was there, and I remember I can feel now. This just came back to my mind. I have been in the presence of male, whether pastors or people who know things spiritually or whatnot, and I have been silenced. Like, so let's say there's a conversation. Let's say, well, in Revelation, we'll see, Revelation, like I've been talked over, and I know that is because like little girl, like let the big boys talk, like so I have felt that before.
Okay.
And I guess I know that there are a lot of men who just are not going to listen to, what a woman has to say, because it's a woman and not necessarily God's anointed or like God, someone that God called to deliver a message.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. Because we don't have the culture of Freedom City of that.
No,
That's true.
That's not our culture.
I'm
So
glad.
we don't have,
Yeah.
I run into other pastors like, at the church that the space we use. Oh, hey, Pastor Lydia, hey, from men, I'm like, Pastor Lydia,
Yep.
so there's no, I haven't felt that, whoa, okay,
That's good.
okay, I haven't felt that yet, because I know it'll come from somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, good and bad. But what about you?
I haven't felt any of that either. Like we said, the culture at Freedom City Church is not like that. The culture of the churches that we are partnered with are not like that.
True.
So we're currently in a bubble of church culture that honors women pastors. So
Freedom.
Freedom City.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, no, I'm glad to hear that. I'll be honest and say, you know, again, not being able to speak to the female portion of it, but for me, I've said this to my church before. In pastoring, I have literally been called too black, too white. I've been called too casual, too deep. I've been called all of the above, right? Not equipped. All these different things that just come along with it. But I think the thing that motivates past anything is first knowing who you're doing it for.
Yeah.
That, you know, you just love the Lord so much. You like, if you want this, I'm going to do it. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't matter how people think. But then as it relates to people, I always say it like this. You know, if you're drowning and a hand breaks through the surface of the water to pull you up, you don't care if it's a woman, a man. You don't care if they got a degree.
Yeah.
You don't care if they can memorize. You know, you want help. Yeah. And these are the people that we're called to minister to, those that are in desperate need of a Savior. And so even though there are others who may say whatever they say, I'm glad that you all haven't experienced that. Have you experienced anything that has challenged leadership? Maybe not an FCC, but anything that has challenged leadership in any capacity of life, and how did you deal with that? Maybe in teaching or something else where, as a black woman, as a young person, because, you know, across the board, pastors don't beat his age.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember somebody said that to me. You ain't 70. And so what about that? Anything limiting in any regard that you've seen? And if so, personally, how'd you overcome that?
For me, I would say no. But I know it's specifically and especially because I was taught that relationship building is what drives leadership. So once you have a relationship with people, whether you were a leader first or whether they met you whether you were like not in leadership first or whether they met you as a leader, usually if you can genuinely build good relationships and make connections with people, then the leadership portion comes easier because I trust you.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I have no idea.
Understood.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have. I will say this. I do know maybe if there was any challenge, it probably was not the challenge, but the understanding of we are very unique. And it's like we're on this island and everybody else is on this other island. And like we have a few people on our island, like a few churches, but then like here's the rest of the continent that has all the right. And being in an old environment is just like, oh, so you're a pastor? Like, where's your church? And the thought is only pastors are senior pastors and have their own ministries. You just an elder, you know, and having to like, okay. So I remember being slightly like, I was in an old environment. And I was just like, yeah, just call me elder because then there's going to be this question of what's your church? And I didn't want to have to go through that. So, yeah, just call me elder.
That I hear you on that. That brings a good next question, good segue to this question. Titles in general. How are you with titles? Has that changed? Is it weird? Is it awkward? You're pastor so-and-so. Is that comfortable? Is that not comfortable? What do you think about titles? Is it necessary? What do you think? Give me everything.
I struggle with it. Luckily, so like how Pastor Lydia was saying, in her old environment, if she goes back into those settings and spaces, then there's a little contention. For me, it's the complete opposite. Everybody's like, Pastor Nessie, I'm so proud of you. And I was just like, I'd be wanting to just be Nessie. But you made it make so much sense to me. Like, we don't honor God in doing that. If God says this is who you are, then who are you to say, but I don't want that. But I don't want to be called that. But I think it also came from like just an experience that I had when I was younger. I grew up in the same church circle, even though I went to 2 different churches prior to coming to Freedom City. My last church was comprised of people from the original church that I grew up at. So you see people shifting and moving in different roles and positions and titles and stuff. So I was like, hey, Sister So-and-so, because for my entire life, you've been Sister So-and-so. And then she got ordained, and I was like, hey, Sister So-and-so, like I had always been.
Right.
It's Minister So-and-so.
I've had that same experience.
And ever since then, I was just like, I don't ever want to be that.
Yeah.
So now when people like, I ain't got to be Pastor Nessie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just Nessie. I don't ever want anybody to feel like I'm trying to be what she made me feel like. So in that aspect, it's like, that's why I feel like I don't need it, because I don't need that.
Yeah.
But if God said I need the title because this is who I am and this is how people recognize me, honor me, and it shows how I should be operating, then in that aspect, then yes, Lord.
And too, think about this too. Whichever you walk in shows what you're focused on. And so if it remains, don't call me this and that, it's because I'm so focused on that experience. As opposed to, God called me this, I'm going to be the best I can be to each and every one of you. But I'm confident in what he said. And so I'm exactly like you in that regard, but I've noticed what has helped me over the years. I've seen people say, they read prophet, that kind of thing. And so, and it's like, because I don't like attention either. And so, but again, in honoring God, it's like, which one? The Lord literally said, which one are you going to focus on? Are you going to focus on the abuse of these certain titles or whatever, or what I called you? Pastor Lydia.
It doesn't bother me. And when from a previous ministry, yes, it was like, oh my God. But it doesn't bother me. But I will say, so like this is what I have learned about even the need for them, not just on a spiritual level, but people tend to kind of deal with you a little differently. You know what I mean? Like when if it puts a little bit of structure and it gives a little bit of like a reeling in of sorts, not so that you can, I am this and I am that, but people do tend to deal with you a little differently when that is in place, or they're not always so loose, right? They're not so maybe as disrespectful and, and when it's usually, you just Lydia, then it's like, I can just say whatever I want. But when you kind of, that title will sometimes help bring people in a little bit. Like, I'm not just regular pew member person, but I am pastor this, and that means there's some weight that comes with that. So you do got to kind of be careful.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell Pastor Ben. Anyway.
Yeah, that's funny. And for me, being in different cultures, you all understand, like, there's really kind of no other way to say it, but there are different cultures and churches who they call their pastor by his or her first name. Like, John.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. And so for me, it's never been a huge deal. I respect the culture. It's never been a huge deal. For example, the Lord the Lord made me aware of my prophetic office at 17. Never made anybody call me prophet. He made me aware of my apostolic office for some years, and I was running from it and didn't know. And I accepted that in front of the church.
Yeah.
You remember that, Pastor?
I remember.
Were you there? I accepted that in front of the church because I just, I was still learning how the Lord speaks, honestly, and it was a healing moment and all that. Anyway, I just accepted what the Lord had said and confirmed through other men of God who spoke that over me and into me, and women of God as well. But I never said, call me apostle. Call me this, call me that. I never did that. But I also wasn't running from that thing. And so, but the bigger deal for me is, can you demonstrate that office?
Yeah.
because there are many that can have a title. Whether you call me this or not, if I'm demonstrating the ministry of or the grace of, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Right? And so I believe the same way about you all. Having pastoral leadership and authority that comes with an expectation. Can you demonstrate that in your life? Not just preaching or exhorting, but can you demonstrate that peace, that responsibility, that humility in your life, right? Pastors aren't saying, get up here. Pastors are pushing up. And so there's that as well. So for me, it's one of those ongoing things where titles, though it's a touchy subject, but for me personally, it's been wrestling with my insecurities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's been wrestling with my insecurities over the years where I don't feel adequate in these things. But what I've learned is my confidence has not come from adequacy. Mm-hmm. It's come from trust. Mm-hmm. You said it, and then the Lord saying it becomes enough.
Yeah.
As you get closer to Him, not anything else. So, no, I'm glad to hear that. I got 2 more questions, and I want you all to think about this. Kingdom Conversations. This is what this is. We hope you all are enjoying this time. The first question is, what are 3 things you can share with those that'll watch that will help, not that we need to, right, but in a fun way, that would help us see Pastor Nessie and Pastor Lydia as human? 3 things that either you are, and again, we keep it light, going through, learning, scared of, whatever, that can show us the humanity of Pastor Lydia, who always does excellent at what she does. But we need to know, still human. We have not arrived anywhere. Like, people need to know that, because people will hold you in a certain regard.
Yeah.
And it literally helps people. Now, we don't do it as a focus, because you humanizing yourself too much waters down the grace on your life.
Yeah.
But to show that, no, I'm human, I'm still dependent on God like that. What are 3 things that you can share with people that can kind of humanize the celebrity of Pastor?
Celebrity?
Right. You just gonna keep making me go first.
My attention span is horrible.
Okay.
That's number 1.
Oh, and yeah.
Oh, so you don't agree, Pastor Nessie?
No, I was saying yes, and like,
too. We both have an attention.
Hold on.
We both have an attention span problem.
Okay.
man.
Forgetful in areas and need calendars and planners. And Pastor Lydia
I'm
will
sorry.
put something on as a reminder and forget to look at the reminder.
She said, I need an assistant. I said, I could be your assistant. She said, you need an assistant.
I'm sorry. This get good now. Come on.
So that was 1 or 2 things. And then I have gas just like y'all. I mean, stomach be toe up and everything.
Every time. Every time.
No, for real, straight up, every time.
What are you
like tell the
identifying?
story.
Why you saying every time?
No, this I'm confirming her for herself.
Oh, okay.
Because it'd be funny. Because you be like, all right,
We're
we're going to start in 5 minutes. And immediately her stomach be like,
I'm like, I gotta put.
She is humanizing herself.
And I don't care.
Okay, so attention, a little gassy.
a lot of gassy.
A lot of gassy.
What else? So funny.
Number 3. It is hard to focus on. I have a lot of sensory. Like if it's too much, like I'm over. It's over. What is the word?
Stimulating.
I don't do well with
A lot of things.
a lot of things at one time. So like
If it's a bunch
sometimes-
of people talking in the room.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm like, stop. I can't. Like, stop. Like, stop. So let's say if I was at the on screens, and I am focused on this, right? Mm-hmm. So for all of our wonderful Freedom City citizens, if anyone has ever thought that I'm ignoring you, if you like come up to speak to me,
might be good to know.
It's good to know that I'm not ignoring you, but if I take my eyes off of what I'm doing, I'm going to forget to upload the announcement video because I'm trying to talk to you. And what's going to happen is, because this happened before, and I'll be like, thank the Lord you moved, God, because we didn't play the announcement video because it was not there. Thank the Lord for the move, because and it'll be like, oh my God, I forgot to upload the announcement video, and my phone is on the tripod, so I can't do that, and I'm up here, and it's just like, so I'm so focused on one thing at one time, because if I'm gonna forget. I'm telling you, I'm going to forget what I was doing. If you move me, then whatever I was supposed to be doing is done. Oh well, it's gonna fall by the wayside, because I am. What is the word focus? I am not laser focused, but I am hyper focused. I hyper focus a lot. I was diagnosed with ADHD. That's another thing.
That's good to know, but let me tell you why. Because people will see that as, oh, I guess she don't want to talk to me.
No, that's not true.
I'm glad you said that.
Or she must be in a mood today.
Yeah.
Or are you mad at me?
I'm
a lot of people may think you be mad, but you're focused.
I'm focused. Listen, because if I don't, it's going to be a problem.
Heard that. Pastor Lydia human, y'all.
For real.
Okay, Pastor Nessie, what's your 3 things?
I need medicine.
I be scared.
Okay.
Scared. I be real scared.
Scared.
In real life, I just be scared. I be scared of my own voice. I know it sounds crazy, don't it?
A little bit.
I'm with you, though. I don't like my voice.
Why?
A little bit. I be scared of my own voice. And I don't know why. And it's loud and it's big. And I do know why. Just now. Because I be feeling like I can't control it. I feel like it's too big for me. And it probably is. For me.
That's deep.
By myself. Right? So I be scared. Because I don't know how to control it. And we be feeling like if we don't have control, then it's out of control. But that's not necessarily true.
Deep. Deep.
So
when we don't have control, we feel like it's out of control.
Yeah, but it will be out of control if I don't give it to God.
You're going too deep now. You're killing it. That's real. Okay, that's one thing. That's good.
So I'll be scared. And then the other thing is that I'll be super scared. No.
Then I'm scared, and then I'm super scared. What are you?
No, in real life though, for real. Like I be scared of myself. Like I be scared of what I could be because I can't control it. But then I just be scared in general, like intimidated by life. Not life, but like what may happen.
This about to make sense. I need to hear this. I want to hear this to the end.
I be intimidated. So, for instance, y'all be making me sing. And the first thing is I be scared to sing because I'm scared of my voice. Okay. The second thing is I be intimidated because y'all are some singers. Stop making that face.
What's she talking about?
I wish I had other people in the room. Y'all for real legit, like y'all.
I be like, I sound a mess.
I only sing, so something can happen. I don't.
But y'all have the ability to sing, is what I'm saying. Like a natural ability to sing.
You do too.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I be intimidated. This is part of my humanness.
I got you.
I don't see myself as being singers like y'all or like somebody else. So, and other people might see me as that, but I don't, because I live within my own. Like my ears hear me.
You. I feel you.
So for me, it don't sound. I don't know how to do a run. I don't know how to come up with ad libs. So it intimidates me when I have to do something that I feel inadequate in. So I be scared, and then I be super scared.
Okay, you got one more.
Do it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a third thing, and don't say super.
I'm like, she finna say, and then I be super scared. Levels.
The third thing is I vacillate between hating attention and then being afraid of not being noticed at all.
Man.
So like I really don't enjoy like a whole bunch of attention on me, and
That's so honest.
Mm-hmm.
That's very honest, because that sounds like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it's so honest. Go ahead.
I'll give you a perfect example. So like when we're in rehearsal and I have to sing a song, I don't like the attention. When people know that I'm struggling through something and they're doing it to be encouraging. All of y'all be like, Benicia, you sound good. Just do it this way. You're fine. But I don't be liking the attention. I just be wanting to hurry up and like move on to the next thing. I don't like the attention in that aspect. But if everybody was giving a song and y'all never told me to sing a song, then I would, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to lead. Everybody else leading, why didn't they have me lead? So it's like vacillating between those. Now that's never happened, but just to put that in perspective, it's like the dichotomy of being afraid to be seen and being afraid to be ignored.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that is because the encouragement may, because we just, we love you, but the encouragement may be perceived as, okay, I'm not doing well.
So they gotta.
And you're encouraging me, and so I don't like the encouragement because it's almost an acknowledgement of weakness. Do you think that's what it is?
I think that's part of it.
Wow.
Yeah, part of it. It's like, it's okay, baby. It's one of them. Oh, bless your heart. One of those type of.
I share that in my own life. Come on.
Yep. So it's a combination of that in addition to, because I overthink things and I know I'm not doing it, but I don't know how other people are perceiving me. So what if somebody is like, I just thought this the other day, literally the other day, I was like, what if somebody think I'm doing this on purpose just to get attention?
You too hard on yourself.
That's why I was just like, oh, come on, let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Because he got a lot. And I was like, I don't want, like, because now we are completely distracted from what we're doing to all focus on me. And I don't want it.
I felt you. Now I moved on for you. And
She did.
I understood.
And it's hard when you're in a culture like our culture where people are genuine.
They're genuine.
And there's not a single person who I've met at Freedom City Church who do not genuinely love. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody said it, it's because they meant it. Otherwise, they ain't gonna say it. At least the people that I know for real. Specifically on our worship team. If anybody on our worship team says something, it's because they absolutely meant it. They not saying it because they trying to make you feel no kind of way. It's because I genuinely felt this and I genuinely believe it. So it's kind of hard because I'll be like, they love me and they really believe that I could do this and I could do well, all of them. And I just want to stand right here and be quiet and let somebody else do it.
Just so you know, our culture is people over projects.
Yes.
You'll hear that said often.
People
over projects. And there may be other places where it could be different, and that comes off a little differently. But yeah, we definitely celebrate people. Last question, y'all. What?
Hit a button.
That just put pressure on it. Now it has to be an elite question. Give me 3 things you want people to know. You know, you got those people who like, man, I could be a leader, man. Oh, I want to be a leader so bad. Oh, I could do that. I'm better than them. Or maybe somebody's just wanting to be a leader. It's all the above. Is at every church for sure. But what are 3 realities you want people to know about leadership that doesn't kind of organically display itself? 3 truths that you want people to know that it's hard to see just in seeing you be so strong and so in front and all this other kind of stuff. What do you want to leave people with today? Those 3 truths.
Let me consider this one.
Okay, Pastor Lydia, you go first.
Oh, man. Number 1, this is something that you said in a clergy meeting back in 2024. You don't represent yourself anymore when you're a leader.
Pause.
Yes.
No, seriously.
You don't represent yourself anymore.
Yes.
That's deep.
And then I'm going to do another number 2.
Okay.
If you want to be a leader so bad, you have to understand that you have to talk the same language and speak the same language as the one who is giving you the authority to be a leader in said ministry.
So in other words, you're saying you can't just be a leader and then do your own thing,
you cannot
which is
do
what
your
so
own
many people
thing.
think.
They really
Come on.
You no longer represent yourself. So you can't, you can look at us or any of the other leaders and be like, why me not yet? That did not make sense. How come I haven't become that yet? Or I can be better than like your, example. But it's like, are you ready to deny yourself? Are you ready to deny yourself?
Man.
Are you ready to speak the same language? Do you even believe in the language? Because you have to do more than speak and talk the same. You have to actually believe.
Talk to the people.
You have to believe in the ministry and in the man or woman of God of said ministry that you believe that you could be a better leader at. You have to believe it, because if you don't believe it, then you will come in and tear up the church, as some would say. You will be a dividing, you will try to divide and conquer, and then you will end up having another ministry within inside the ministry. And you'll have your own members in the same church that they're members of, and they'll be your little clique.
Yep.
Number 3 says, we are unified and not cliques.
Yeah.
And so if you're going to be a leader, if you want to be a leader, you have to, after you can speak the same language, you can deny yourself, then you can't create or try to form your own clique. It's one thing where people, as humans, we gravitate to people, we have similar stories or whatnot, and we'll gravitate to people who we're similar to, but you can't like try to form, your own like elite group because because we are better than them, so you can't click up. You have to like literally present and represent the leadership of the church and the culture of the church. So you have to represent the culture. You have to not just represent it in speech, but you have to be the culture. You have to be a culture shifter. You have to be able to impart culture to new people who are coming in, not your culture from another church, and not the culture you saw on YouTube, but the culture of the.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
The culture of.
It's good.
The culture of, if you're at Freedom City, you have to represent the culture of Freedom City, which is representing core values. Now, if you're at a church that doesn't have core values, the best thing you could do is represent Christ alone, and that is understanding and knowing what his word says. So represent Christ, not yourself. And if you're a Freedom City, core values, deny yourself, and talk the same, speak the same language, know the language, and believe it. If you don't believe it, then you can't be a leader.
Let me say this. That's so true. All of it's true. One of the things, because there are a lot of people who, I'm just going to be honest, there are a lot of people who, and not just limited to FCC, who think they want to lead.
Yeah.
Right? Because they have a picture of what that is. And I've seen this just throughout ministry, 20-something years. I started serving in ministry at 19. So from 19 till now, seeing all of the above, being some of those things as well. But one thing that you said was having to deny, because it's one thing in being in a position that you're being, but what happens when there are people? One of the ministries that I was a part of, the people were saying, you should be the senior pastor. Like that was going to make me say, yeah,
Right.
I should. I was so, and see, here's the thing. When you deny yourself, number one, and you know that at whatever position you are doing exactly what God told you to do, there's no aspiration to be prematurely. No, if God wants me on a tambourine, that's all I'm doing.
That's it.
And he loves it, just like he would if I was building a building or leading you see? And so denying yourself is essential, because not just for yourself internally, but for those that come alongside.
Yeah.
You do that better than Pastor Nessie. You do that better than Pastor Lydia. I'm fine right where I am.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of denying that too. That was excellent. Awesome. Pastor Nessie, 3 things you want to leave with people about the reality of leadership as we are redefining leadership.
I would say the first thing, and it sounds extremely cliche, is know your why. Like, why?
Why?
Because me and Pastor Lydia be talking all the time. It's like, why people be fighting to do this?
Who wants this?
Who?
Spreadsheets.
Who? Why? Why do you want to be a leader? You want to be seen? You want to be in charge? You want what? You want notoriety? Like, why? Why? Do you feel like you can just make a difference? Like, why do you want to be this particular title? What's the purpose of you wanting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you actually pursuing it. Knowing the why is important because it'll sit you down for a second if you really sit and be like, why do I want to be called Youth Pastor Nessie? I just want to look cool. I just want to have a name. I need to sit down then.
I deserve it.
Because at no point did you say, because I want to do what God told me to do.
Talk to us.
Well, then you don't need to want it. Because He'll
us.
make it happen when it's time to happen.
Right.
Not that you should deny it, but you don't have to aspire to it, like as far as work for it. If God said it, then He gonna make it happen. So I don't have to go from church to church and be like, yeah, God told me I'm supposed to be a youth pastor.
No.
And then wait to see if that person gon', God will do whatever it is that He wants to do in us. So why? Why do you want the leadership?
People have done that, by the way. Have come to my church and said, I'm supposed to be this or this. And I'd be like, that's not how this works. And then they leave.
And that's so crazy to me because why? Like what was the end goal? Like what exactly are you trying to accomplish?
Take the church. Straight up.
So that would be my number one thing is know your why. Know your why.
Good.
And does it align with what God is doing? And then the other thing would be that leadership is not top down, it's bottom up.
I'm about to throw some.
Leadership is bottom up. I'm not standing on top as any kind of leader in any kind of capacity. And I'm not even talking about pastoral leadership.
Yes.
If I'm the leader of the ushers, anything that you're leading, I'm not on top saying, hey, do this. I'm bottom up. And I'm, like you said before, I'm developing. I'm pushing others up. I'm serving those who I am in leadership over. They not serving me.
I'm about to throw something for real now.
I'm serving them. I'm serving them. So leadership is bottom up. It's servanthood. You have to be a servant.
They don't know this stuff. Keep going, please.
You have to be a servant to lead.
Okay.
And then the third one is, I just had it, and it was connected to being a servant. What was it, Jesus? Leadership is bottom up. You have to be a servant.
So good.
I don't know why that third one just escaped my mind so easily, but I could give another one. Leadership is not specifically telling people what to do. There is room for delegation.
Yes.
But there has to be development. It can't just be do this. This is what you're supposed to be doing, and I'm just sitting somewhere. I randomly found, I was texting Pastor Lydia, I randomly found my leadership training notes from my old church. And I was looking through the notes or whatever. And one of the notes said, leaders can give up everything except responsibility. So if I'm in charge of something, say if we're having an event and I'm in charge of the event, my ministry is in charge of the event, and I'm delegating, I've given all of the responsibilities of like making the thing happen up. But if any one thing goes wrong, I can't say, I told Pastor Lydia to do that and she ain't do it, so.
He say it all the time.
I can give anything up except the final responsibility for whatever the thing is. And so I think people don't realize that. They're thinking, I'm going to be a leader and the people going to do
my
and
work.
the people, yeah, exactly. And that's it. If you were in charge of a church, if you were a pastor, a lead pastor of a church, if your church is not operating in the way that the Lord is saying, you are responsible. It's not the congregation. Well, these people just can't catch in the vision. So you're responsible for it.
Promise you.
Yo, bad.
They don't know that.
So yeah.
They don't know that. That is so right on.
You say it often because I've said to you, well, I'm thinking about giving this to you. Like you said, this is specifically what he said to me. Well, I don't really care who you give it to, but if something go wrong, I'm coming back to you.
But the alternative to that is you holding everything so tight too,
Yes.
that you don't develop people
Right.
to do it.
Right.
There has to be a room of error. Because we make errors when we learn. So there has to be some room for us to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But we have to be ready to correct mistakes
Yeah.
and teach and reteach. And sometimes because we know that we have the responsibility, it's like, I ain't got time for that. I'm just going to take
I ain't
care
got
of it.
time for none of that. I'm just finna go.
I know I can do it right, so I'm going to make sure I do it right.
Yeah, and that's the difficult part because you said that sometimes that has a space, depending on
Yeah.
what it is. Like this is a,
But
we-
knowing when to
knowing
let
when
go
to let
and
go
when
and
to
begin
hold
the
on to
training.
it. Exactly.
Y'all, that is excellent. With that, we're going to end this episode of the podcast.
Somebody in the comments said, why you ain't answer? Actually, it was specifically Elder Veronica.
What you want me to answer?
She said, why didn't Pastor Ben answer the 3 things? I think it was the original 3 things that make you human.
Okay, I can definitely do that real quick.
no.
Right
I,
before.
I thought it was the 3 things. Go ahead, whatever.
I'll do both of them. Y'all want me to answer? I tried to just, delegate like we just got through talking.
45 more minutes.
So what is it? 3 things that make me human? Mm-hmm. I think one of those things is I'm a natural protector. God made me that way. But the weakness on that side is I worry about. See, the strength is I protect, but the weakness is I worry.
Yeah.
And so that is a daily thing that I often go through. And God has been so faithful with me, walking with me, and I've gotten stronger, but that is something that I'm walking out. And so whether that's my church, the people, my kids, my wife, if I'm not focused, I can easily slip into that. Another thing I would say that would speak to my humanity is is that sometimes I don't be feeling like y'all. Yeah, I'm about to get it all out right now. Sometimes I don't be feeling like y'all. Forget this church. No, I'm just No,
Look, I'm sick of them.
No, seriously. I mean, I love the people, love all that kind of stuff. But on a human side, it's not even fed up or anything like that. I promise y'all, I never feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But sometimes I be kicking it with V, and it'd be like,
I gotta do something.
let's just not. Church be in 30 minutes. Let's just not go. And again, it's never because they're tired, but I love my family. I love my wife and different things like that. And so, which could honestly speak to just needing vacation time.
Yeah. That's
it.
Because you just need,
Yeah.
maybe if that was more a part of the equation, which this June, obviously I must start trying to do that. I wouldn't have those moments, but y'all, we love kicking it. I'm talking about Jones Party of 4. It's not a game. And Party of 2 is even better
Nice.
than Party of 4. So, yeah, that's another thing. I love the church. I love the people. I love the Lord. But I'm realizing as other aspects of my life are being built, my kids are 6 and 4, so they haven't been around long. But as these new aspects are being built, I'm like, man, I want to be a part of this more, which means I may not be able to do this. So just having that kind of time. And I think the third thing is I wrestle at times with, and I think this stems from love, am I doing enough for my church, for the people? When I say, and I've said this before, I've given this my entire life, I mean that. If it goes up or goes down, I'm giving everything and none of it's hard. None of it's like, I'm doing this for people. It's all in honor. And so with that heart, it's like, could I be doing more? What could I be doing with my leaders? Are they getting it? Are they getting the opportunity? It's just those things that, which I guess it goes under worry, but it's me always wanting to know what else I could be doing and doing more of and different things like that. So these are things I walk through, wrestle with. And God is faithful in all of it. He always sends me back to him. It's not your church. Those aren't your people. Those ain't even your kids like that. I just gave them to you for a second. So it's me learning that in real time. 3 things about, what was it, leadership?
Leadership for those who want to aspire.
Yeah. So I think the first thing that people don't understand is whatever you're leading, you have to, in order to be effective, you have to demonstrate the most humility. Mm-hmm. Your focus should not just be one of the ones who are humble. Yeah. But if you're going to lead effectively, you have to demonstrate the most humility, because if not, if anything goes wrong, then not only, for example, if the moment calls for you to either have an ego or be humble and you choose the ego, you may have won the moment with this person, but those that look all of a sudden have a distaste about it now, as opposed to wanting to stay apart. And so there's so much that you have to realize in terms of leadership, but my number one would definitely be to demonstrate humility, and that humility is not weakness. It's not weakness, but I have to adhere to the responsibility that God has given me to keep people together. Jesus said this to the Father: of all those you've given me, I've lost none. Let me just tell you what that means real quick. So Jesus was talking about, you gave me Peter. I didn't lose Peter. What many pastors do is they'll lose Peter for somebody who can do what Peter does. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't mind you leaving, because I'll just find another assistant. Yeah. I'll just find another keyboard player. But that's not kingdom. Mm-hmm. Kingdom is, I sent you Nessie, not her talents, her. Mm. So do whatever you can to keep her. It's a difference. Because even when Nessie maybe feel this way or feel that way, I have to lead with humility, right? And not ego. And so there is that. How many is that?
3, 2, 1. 1. That was 1.
So humility. The second thing is your life, and I've said this before to my leaders, but your life cannot be mysterious. Mm-hmm. People have a right, if they're going to follow you, to know something about you. How are we comfortable if we don't know? And so your life has to be like that. Far too many times, if y'all just let me be honest, we've learned how to live double lives.
Man, we have.
And so instead of working out kinks in my marriage, I hide that from y'all until it blows up some way in front of y'all. But I hide that, and I'm like, God is good and this and that or whatever, and life falling apart. Yeah. And so the reality is, it's not for us to be better at hiding the realities of our life, but to be balanced in all facets of life, which may mean you don't get raised up as fast, right? Because you know many people will think, I'm good at this, let me do this. Well, you're good at this, but what about those things? Yeah. So, and then I would say the last thing is absolute obedience. You have to give up some luxuries. I think Pastor Nessie was talking about just owning, basically, having the responsibility. I can't quit. Yep. I can't quit. If I was in a ministry where leadership did not necessarily like me, forget you, I'm leaving. I couldn't do that. I'm here. And so that's what I want people to know. It's not as glamorous, but what is glamorous or satisfying, I would say, is the fulfilling of the will of God. Yeah. There's nothing that feels like that. It's the best. It is what you give him as a thank you. And so those are my things.
Amen.
That's awesome.
Kingdom Conversations, you all. I am so excited that we had our first episode. Thank you to Pastor Nessie, Youth Pastor Nessie. Thank you to Associate Pastor Lydia. The honest answers that we've given y'all. This is our first episode. You'll see a lot more of these. We'll determine how we're going to disseminate these out, like weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever. But you'll see much more leaders, especially Elder Veronica. You're going to see people like that on her who's trying to make me do stuff. But until then, we will see you very soon. And we'll say this. Last thing is, welcome to your second chance.
Meet us every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Freedom City Church at 8333 Fullerton Avenue, University City, Missouri, 63132.
Come get free.
Oh, there it is.
Encounter
Bam.
God. Experience freedom. Expand kingdom with us.
See you.
Bye.